guys, welcome back to Bookstackers. I'm Paige.
I'm Elise.
And today we are doing the spoiler-free review of Vampire Academy. So this book is about Rose Hathaway, and she's a Dampier, which is like half the good Moroi vampires and half human or Dampier. It like depends genetics. She and her best friend Lissa share this blood bond, which is very rare between people of their kind. One of them is a Moroi, which is a good kind of vampire, and the other is a Dampier, and Dampier's trained to be the Moroi's guardian. So it's basically about them at the academy, and they've just gotten basically reprimanded for running away, and now they're back, and it's that whole event. So Dimitri is one of the older guardians, and he is like, I think,
He's 24.
24.
He 24.
He 24. And he basically takes Rose under his wing to teach her and catch her up because she's been away from school so long. It looks at a lot of different things like mental illness, power shifts and class, and
just society in general, really. It's society shown from the perspective of high school students, and it's really interesting the way that she builds the society.
Good fun, and Rose is sassy as hell.
So in terms of character versus plot, I think I'd say this is more plot driven because she's really building up the society and everything and how it all works there. But you do learn a lot about the characters as well. Their backstory kind of comes out, but it's mostly just stuff that's relevant to what's happening in this plot, in this book.
Yeah, so it's like in the now. I read this book for the first time when I was in year 7. Back then, I remember reading it and just like going through it so fast, and it's still super easy to read. Like,
it's pretty short.
Yeah, and it's easy writing as well. It's not super complex, but also the characters are really funny. So
yeah, there's a lot of humor in it, like sarcastic humor,
yeah,
which is pretty good.
Which is always fun. And it also deals with some like really confronting topics. So there is self-harm in there, so trigger warning for that. But I think it deals with that in a really interesting way, especially because these people are 17 and it's them dealing with it from that perspective. So I really like that. Who is your favourite character?
Oh god, I didn't even think of that. I would say Christian.
The dark boy that is sad.
As the angsty boy in the book. He's an interesting character. And I mean, yeah, he's like super angsty and all like, oh, anti-establishment, whatever. But he admits that he's like that. So it's fine.
I found it really hard in this book to pick my favourite because knowing what happens later in the series, I love Rose. Like, just knowing her whole story and what happened to her, I love Rose. But in this, she was a bit annoying. But I think that's just because she's so young and naive and she thinks she's right about everything. So I think for this story, I would probably pick Lissa as my favourite, just because she's really not doing anything wrong, and when her best friend goes through some stuff, she really tries to step up and help, even though it does affect her. I think her, just because she's such like a lovely soul and person. And,
no, that's a good point. I didn't think about who my favourite character was, even a little bit. I just read it.
Rose is the main character, so you see everyone through her perspective. It is first person, so yeah, you kind of get opinions based on that.
I disliked one very important thing that to me is important. Dimitri is 24 and Rose is 17.
There's a lot of sexual tension there.
And it's weird, okay? And I don't like it.
Yeah.
If he had been a couple years younger, maybe.
Yeah.
If she was 18, fine.
Yeah.
But no.
I remember in this book being more uncomfortable with it. Like, I got getting a crush on someone older, but it was just like, it was weird.
Because there was
Just
tension.
because there was a lot.
And I was like,
I was glad though that the author didn't just go, it's a forbidden love thing, we're going to explore that, it's going to be hidden. No.
She did it really well.
Yeah, Dimitri like always had a thing going, like,
he was like, no.
There's like a lot of cliches in this book, but they're like good cliches. You can kind of predict where the plot's going with stuff.
Yeah, I was reading it and like when I first started reading it, I was like, I picked these people.
She knew who the bad guys were, like, immediately.
Yeah, but I'm always really invested in, like, finding out who the bad guys are, because I need to know. It's a vampire
book.
novel.
But for a vampire book, it's like...
oh, yeah. It builds up a society that's really interesting.
Yeah, it actually, like, makes it interesting, and, like, the main character, she holds her own, so that was really cool. Who do you recommend this to?
Look, if you enjoyed Twilight, you'll probably enjoy this.
I don't know, because I know some people who didn't like Twilight but really like this.
Really?
Yeah, I think this sort of book...
I never really got into the whole vampire thing.
If you like really sassy main characters that are really like strong and independent and stuff but still have those flaws, read this. I reckon this is a really good standalone book, but also if you really enjoyed this book, read the rest of the series because it just gets better and better. Like each book builds on and it's so good. I would probably recommend this to people who are 14 years plus. I read this when I was 13, and there were a lot of things that I didn't like quite get yet, but like it deals with sex, it deals with self-harm, it deals with class prejudice, bullying, a lot of stuff that's like a bit more adult themes. If you're looking for an easy read that's fun and you enjoy those sort of YA kind of action romance, because there's some cool action scenes
that's true,
come up in this one, then that.
Just for me, because I think throughout the whole thing, the little undertone of Dimitri being 24 just put me off a little bit. But like, excited. Because that undertone was going on, and also because I personally could kind of get where the plot was going, I'd probably give it like 3.5, because I did enjoy the society and everything that was built into it. So for me, 3.5. What are we using for this?
3.5 Draculas.
3.5 Draculas.
I would give this 4 out of 5 Draculas. I think like mainly because of nostalgia, but also because I really love these characters, and coming back to this world made me really happy. And also I want to save my 5 out of 5 for like later in the series. So I reckon once we've read all the series, we're probably not going to do one for each individual book, but I reckon we'll do one once we've finished
like
the series
a quick
again.
summary of the...
Yeah, like a summary and, you know, order of which books we liked best. And
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Cool. Okay. Time for hats.
Can I pick it out this time?
Fine.
Okay. This is going to hurt.
I don't want to read a sad book.
Also, we're reading This Is Going to Hurt. Ta-da! So our in-depth book discussion is also up now on our channel, so you can check that one out as well. That's got all the spoilers and us going a bit deeper into the plot and the characters. So just leave a comment on your thoughts on Vampire Academy. If you have read it, give it a rating down below. And if you have any spoiler-filled comments, go over to our discussion and put them there. So we're trying to keep this spoiler-free as possible, because there's some stuff that happens. Bye!